I have failed so many times that it's unbelievable. I want to share with you how I massively failed in the beginning when I first got started as a music composer. So first thing, when I got started, I didn't know exactly how to compose a right music track for licensing. And here I am, as somebody who knows how to play an instrument. I'm educated when it comes down to recording and production. I went to college for this. So I have worked in recording studios. I have an extensive background as a musician in the music industry, and yet I cannot compose the right music track in order to sell it on a library. So that was the first mistake, that I thought I knew it all. I thought that this certainly has to be easy. I already know how to record. And yet I failed. I felt flat on my face when I got in my first library, which was Audio Jungle, by the way. And I uploaded my very first track. And I didn't sell a single music track, not even one sale, for a whole year. Okay? Now think about that. If you don't call that a failure, I don't know what it is. Now, there's many lessons that I learned from that, but that to me was a massive failure for me. Now, mistake number two, to pretend to be a composer that I am not. I was comparing myself to other big players in the marketplace. I was comparing my music against somebody who has already massive success, people that are selling left, right, and center. And the worst part is that I wanted to be somebody that I wasn't. And this is very difficult to just snap out of that mentality. Just because I see some other composers and musicians selling on stock libraries that they are piano players or electronic musicians, I thought that I had to become that in order to succeed. I was denying myself the only true gift that I have to succeed, which is my own abilities, my own skills. I'm a guitarist, I'm a guitar player. So I should use those skills for my benefit. So that was a huge mistake. I can't tell you how much time I wasted checking somebody else's profile, especially in a library like Audio Jungle, and checking out what type of music they were making, and then thought like, well, I'm not a piano player. Maybe I should become a piano player and forget about the guitar. Maybe I should compose more electronic music. It seems to be really hot at this very moment. And I'm talking about now 6 to 7 years ago. But we know that trends in music are always changing. And regardless of the trend, the beauty of music licensing is that regardless of the genre that you write, you can always succeed on it. And the final mistake, to think that because I had more time, more free time to make my music, that meant that I can produce something that it was of a higher quality. Okay, and this goes hand in hand with quality and quantity. So let me get very quickly to the point. What I was thinking back then, and I am a stay-at-home dad, and I still work from home. I've been working from home since 2013 or 12. Okay, but before that, I was a stay-at-home dad, flat broke. So when my first daughter Fedra started going to school, I had all this free time to finally pursue my dreams, and I started to compose music. And I had so much time on my plate, so much free time, because finally I was at home alone. My daughter is in kindergarten, my wife is at her day job, and here I am with an empty house, all the time in the world to compose music, and yet I cannot produce the perfect music track. So that was a real eye-opening experience to me. Like, here I am committed to dedicating my full being, full time, to composing music. I already know the skills. I already have everything I need, all the gear. I have the knowledge, the experience as a musician, as a producer, everything. And I have the time, which is something is the most valuable thing. And still, I cannot come up with a great music track. So later on in life, I learned that limitations is what's going to help me produce the best work. And quantity, I need to produce a lot of music fast and quick in order to get to the good ones, to get to the good music tracks, to get to the good productions. So nowadays, I teach, and my philosophy is to work with limitations. Give yourself an hour to work. Time yourself and see what you can come up with an hour. Don't use in your session more than 20 tracks. The more tracks you have in your session, the harder it's going to be to mix. For me, it was working around those limitations that actually it helped me not only produce more music, but better music. And really, it's not about how much time I spend doing that music track, Nobody cares if it took me 8 hours or if it took me 4 hours to create that music track. Nobody cares if it took me 1 hour to compose one music track and upload it. So all of these experiences with time and limitations are crucial in my journey to success. Okay, nowadays, if I don't have time, I actually feel happy for it. I don't have time for anything now. Now I have 2 daughters. And Melina is here with me, actually, by the way. And I'm doing this video. I'm composing a music track. A podcast episode has just gone live. My plate can never be so... It hasn't been fuller than it was back in the day. Now I'm really busy. Now my life is so busy. I'm running an educational business. I'm selling music online. I'm coaching people. I have a membership site. I mean, the schedule is so full that now I could easily say and have an excuse that, well, I'm not doing well because of this. I don't have time. But the opposite is what's true. Actually, now that I don't have much time available for anything, is where I really shine. So it's really energy focus on time constraints and say I have 2 hours to do this, I have 4 hours to do that. Then the rest of the time I'm going to spend them with my family, with my kids. So I think this concept of time is really important for you to grasp. So if you have a day job and you can only do music in a very small window of time, that's great. That's all you need. You don't need to be at home like I was years ago with endless hours within every day and then feel sorry for yourself because you have nothing to show for. And whenever I finish the track and I will upload it, it will get rejected. It was soul crushing. Stay at home dad, all the time in the world, all the gear, composing music, upload it, rejected. And by the way, no sales for a whole year. So those were my mistakes, those were my failures when I first got started. And I never forget that. And nowadays that I have something going on, if I'm not failing, if I'm not producing mistakes, if I'm not making consciously some type of progress, and I'm not making mistakes and say like, oh, that didn't work out very well, that didn't go well either, or sales are not good in this library, or check out this music track that I did, it could be better. If I'm not making mistakes, then I feel that I'm not progressing. Make mistakes, fail, okay, and progress. And that's the way to get better. That's the way that you're going to succeed. Nobody succeeds without failure. I hope this video finds you well. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. I love you all very much. If you're new to music licensing or to royalty-free libraries and you would like to learn how to sell your music online, download my free guide so you can get started. I love you all very much. Rock and roll, and here's to your success.